Well, hello out there. This is the Marvelous One, Marvelous Mark, with your Raw review for July 31st, 2017. From the hometown of your Olympic hero and mine, Kurt Angle, the Raw GM. So he's out there, and you think it's just going to be one of those really short promos where he just saying what's on the card, but hell, you get Brock Lesnar out there. Yeah, didn't expect to see him on the show, but God, with this he only has like a limited number of appearances, and this is kind of a waste. And then you hear Paul Heyman saying that, well, if Brock doesn't if he doesn't retain the Universal title at SummerSlam, oh, I'm gonna leave. Then talking about, I guess to tie in with that story where John Bones Jones is calling him out to fight him in the Octagon. But this segment, I mean, it really wasn't that good. I mean, it sounded like it might be good on paper. I mean, you get a surprise appearance by your Universal Champion, but that's only once a month, so hey, you know. And then you got the opening contest was the Hardy Boys against Gallows and Anderson, and it's like, God, we're seeing this match again. God, how many times are going to go to the well on this? And then you got the Revival sitting on commentary, and I guess if Anthem Entertainment would release the Broken Hardys gimmick to them, maybe it'd make the Hardys more interesting instead of them making them look like they're just a regular tag team. But then it breaks down after the match. Yes, the Ball Jobbers lost again. Gallows and Anderson. Then the Revival they get this all lumped in together. So I guess this is leaning towards a triple threat match at SummerSlam, I'm guessing. But really, at this point, who really gives a shit? Then Renee Young's back there, and Dean Ambrose shows up, and it's like, if you were just a casual wrestling fan, you wouldn't think that Renee Young and Dean Ambrose were married, now would you? But Dean Ambrose hasn't done shit in the 5 years since he's been on the main roster. Then I guess this was kind of tying in with that. You see Seth Rollins showing up on there, and it's like, ugh. It would eventually turn into a match against him and Sheamus later on, but I'll get to that in a bit. But the 6-man cruiserweight tag team match, I mean, sure, they got rid of the purple ropes at least, but they still got the purple lighting there, so it's just like, ugh. I don't know who really cared about this match, but I sure as hell didn't, with Swan and Alexander and Tozawa. And it's like, if you're Akira Tozawa and you got a bum shoulder, if you're trying to sell a bum shoulder, you're sure as hell not going to jump off the top rope onto somebody, are you? I wouldn't think so. I sure as hell didn't care about this match, and I'd like to know if any of you out there actually did, because I sure as hell didn't. And then more boring shit. Miz TV, it's got Kurt Angle's son, Jason Jordan, on there. Jason Jordan, to me, I mean, sure, he can go a little bit in the ring, but I think I can talk better than Jason Jordan. I mean, seriously. But you're gonna set up at a Big Four pay-per-view a guy that's just been split off from American Alpha into a singles feud against the Miz, who's probably the best heel in the company right now, at least on Raw. And you're gonna put him in an IC title feud against a guy who can't talk to save his life. I mean, sure, that spot where he took out the Miz in the Miztourage with a overhead belly to belly, that was pretty cool. But this segment was just flat. That's kind of a recurring theme of this show. And okay, and then talking about that match that was set up between Sheamus and Seth Rollins. sure Seth Rollins gets the fall in this match, but it's like they're kind of teasing. I guess it's gonna be the Raw Tag Team Title feud going into SummerSlam with Rollins and Ambrose against Cesaro and Sheamus. Like, Ambrose doesn't come out there right away, but even after Rollins is getting beat down, but it's like, that'll probably be one of the piss breaks of SummerSlam, because, I mean, with SummerSlam being a 4-hour show, I'm sure there's gonna be a couple piss breaks during that show, and I'm sure that'll probably be one of them. And so, then right before you come back from the commercial, they let you know that Bray Wyatt's gonna be doing a promo. So, talk about wasted talent, wasted potential. And then he just rambling on about shit, and then finally you get Bray Wyatt. That's what I'm actually talking about. But Finn Balor ends up coming out there, and it's like, I guess that's going to be another match at SummerSlam. That might be another piss break. But the only way this match might be interesting is if you get the Demon at SummerSlam. But otherwise, I couldn't care two shits about this match either. But then I don't know why this happened, but you ended up having the triple threat match between Joe and Braun and Reigns. Yeah, you had promos from each one of them kind of building up to this, but what the hell is this doing as the 2-hour main event? I mean, granted, if this was a 2-hour show, then yeah, this would be fine, but why the hell was this the 2-hour main event? This show this match didn't even main event the show. I mean, obviously people didn't care too much about this on the internet because Reigns goes over clean over Samoa Joe. At least Braun was protected, but I guess people, you would have thought Reigns going over clean in this match. You thought the internet would be all abuzz about it, but oh hell no, they didn't care either. But so then you're thinking, what are they gonna have left for the last hour of the show? Like, now you got the formerly Elias Sampson. Now he's just Elias. He faced Kalisto, who shouldn't even be on Raw. He had to be on 205 Live because go over there with the rest of the freaking cruiserweights. There's only like 2 of them on 205 Live that I even give a shit about. But you would think that they would. The biggest part of the heat that Elias gets is playing his guitar and shit, but they can't let him get that much heat because they stop him in the middle of something, and it's like, well, at least one of the heels won tonight. Then you get to probably the 2 worst segments of the entire night. Bayley against Nia Jax. Alexa Bliss, who's your heel Raw Women's Champion, who tries to run interference for Nia, and God, even with the two big, you got the biggest bitch on the roster in Nia Jax, and then you got the hottest female in WWE, the Team Rude girls, if you will, and Bayley still ends up coming out the victor. Excuse me, but that's about what I thought of that match. That was terrible. And you would have thought when Bayley came up from NXT, that you would have thought that, God, the way she was bucked down in NXT, it's like, God, this is really easy for me to say, a foolproof gimmick, but they've really dropped the ball on Bayley. And then this was my biggest fear when the triple threat match ended up being the 2nd-hour main event and not the main event of the show. I thought, oh my God, you're gonna get the big ass against the big slow as your Raw main event. Are you fucking kidding me? This was terrible. This was your fucking main event. It just goes to show me that that obviously WWE didn't care about this show. And show ends up ends up losing because of Enzo's interference. And yeah, even though Big Slow hit the knockout punch on the big ass, it's like, who really cared about this? I mean, this show, all in all, this is just one big bore. This was just 3 hours of my life that I won't get back, and I wasted it watching this garbage program. God, they're gonna have to have a better build for SummerSlam than this. I mean, we're only about 3 weeks away from SummerSlam, and the Raw part of this program has got to be better than this. Well, anyway, I am Marvelous Mark, and hopefully this is gonna get better, but I don't know. I just don't know right now. I'll talk to you later. Goodbye.